I know I have yet to release the full season of She-Hulk, all my reactions. I've just stopped at, I think we've just uploaded like episode 4. I still need to give episode 5's footage to my editor. Hello, editor. And I'm still coming out with all the episodes from the season, but I needed to have a little rant about the She-Hulk finale, because that was its own special brand of bullshit. It was horrible. Like, I did think it was going to be bad, because the show has been all around just bad anyway. But this is like its own special kind of just, I don't know what the fuck any of that was. And I was so pissed because, not because I had any kind of hope for the show. It's just, you invest, you understand what the MCU, you understand what the MCU used to be. And you're like, it frustrates you because it's like, how do you fall so far? How does that happen? How did you go from kind of mostly knowing what the fuck you were doing to She-Hulk? I mean, nearly none of the MCU Phase 4 shows have been good. Or like Phase 4, even Phase 4 movies. They've all been their own shade of doo-doo. But She-Hulk especially, it's like, it's like I said before, it's Batwoman. It's so bad. But with the CW, I understood. The CW technically has never been good. So, you know what you're getting into. You know it's going to be cringe. It's just, how funny is it going to be? How frustrating is it going to be? That's usually the question. But She-Hulk, this is coming off 10 years of a pretty decent track record in terms of quality, characterization, action sequences, and all that. With all its flaws, like, they were entertaining fucking films. And I used to be a fan of them, not all of them, and I wouldn't have called myself an MCU stan, because no. Because I criticized those films. No matter how much I liked some of them or most of them, I still had criticisms. I wasn't a blind follower, like, because that's what human beings do. Like, just because you like something doesn't mean it's infallible. But anyway, and I was sitting here thinking, oh, why don't I just write some notes? Like some little guiding little factoids, like details to guide me through this entire rant. But I was like, why? Someone already posted the leaks for the episode word for word, and I can just go by that and just have the episode right in front of me as like further guidance through this. Like, someone already detailed it. Who gives, like, why am I writing notes for this bullshit like an idiot? But so anyway. Yeah, because last night I was ready to either start streaming or recording something at 5 a.m. over this fucking show. But then I was like, no, fuck it. Let me get some sleep. Let me eat something for breakfast. I need to be clear-headed for this. But anyway, yeah, I might as well just read the leaks, because it's basically exactly, nearly word for word, what happened in that episode. There's no reason for me to write anything myself. Ugh. Anyway, yeah, the She-Hulk finale, full detail. And thank you to Miss oh my god, what the fuck? I don't know, like the person's name is Oculus on Twitter. That's the name. I can't. I don't know what this person's handle actually means, but they did post. I think I can. We can. Hold on. You can't really see it because it's cut off. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm getting distracted because I hear some screeching. Some crazy ass motherfucker just sounded like they hit something outside my window. But anyway, yeah, this person right here on Twitter. Damn it. This person. I want to credit that person for coming out with these leaks. Thank you very much. It is mucho. Actually, hang on. Because now I need to recenter this. Ugh. Yeah, thank you for coming out with those leaks and letting me know. Letting me know what I was in for. But now I'm just gonna read this shit because, as I said, why even waste the time writing notes? Yeah, the episode opens with a homage to the opening titles of the 1977 series The Incredible Hulk. This includes scene-by-scene recreations as well as some original footage and voiceover. Jennifer delivers practical makeup, assuming... Oh my god. Jennifer... I'm not... Like, this show really fucks me up. Because I'm just ready to read this and be done with it. Jennifer delivers the lines, "Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry." There's someone in practical makeup, assuming a male bodybuilder, like the original 70s show, playing her Hulk form. So basically, yeah, it's just a reenactment of the original 70s Incredible Hulk intro, but as She-Hulk. For no other reason than reference, basically. Because it ends up being a nightmare, and it cuts to Jennifer Walters in the same jail cell as Emil Blonsky. And when I say the same jail cell, I mean the exact same fucking jail cell. For $1 billion corporation like Disney Marvel, you'd think that they build different sets and have a whole jail filled with jail cells for superhuman people, but no, they don't. It's just one cell repurposed for another character, which is pretty lazy if you think about it. Yeah, so basically that was a nightmare, and then she wakes up, of course, like perfect timing. The black lawyer chick and frickin' Frack, her friends, like her dumbass female friend. Oh my god, what the fuck? She can't, like, the chick who looks like Michael Jackson. I forgot her name. What was her name? Nikki? And, oh yeah, okay, the names are right here. Nikki and Pug, who I thought was named Paul, but for some reason it's Pug now. Alright, whatever. They visit her, and they say a lot of dumb shit, blah, 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 and then apparently they're not going to press charges against Jen unless she wears one of those inhibitors, those inexplicable inhibitors that are now available to anyone who gets arrested as a superhuman criminal. Why? I don't know where this shit came from. How did Bruce manufacture that on a, like, how was that mass produced in such a short period of time? I don't know, but she has one, and it looks completely different from Bruce's from the one Bruce wore in the first episode. Anyway, but anyway, yeah, her two friends, frickin' Frack, tried to get a hold of Bruce. They couldn't because he's in fucking space. Why would you get a signal in space? And Jennifer talks about prosecuting the people who attacked her because of all the witnesses, but Mallory tells her all the witnesses saw was an out of control Hulk. And to get to the episode, to, go to, oh shit, I'm still on this, to refer back to that, prosecuting Hang on. Here's what she says. Here's this whole exchange, which really pisses me off. On Jen's side, of course. She always pisses me off.
Be prosecuted. Hold on. Forget them. We need to discuss your case.
This was a targeted attack. They need to be held responsible for this.
They baited you and you took the bait.
I was angry.
I was angry.
I would respond in that situation.
But you're not just anyone. You are an out-of-control Hulk.
And we're meant to feel bad for Jen over that. But the thing is, I don't. Like, there were people next to you saying, hey, Jen, don't freak out. Don't freak out. You're gonna freak out. Don't freak out. And she did anyway, of course. And like, the thing is, she has been getting thrown softballs this whole season in terms of villainy. Some people stole her blood. This female influencer thinks she's totes gross. And she had a tussle at a wedding, bad dates. Yeah, like, basically, like, she gets treated just the same as, like, the Hulk or Captain America or Thor. Because they've also had very softball threats thrown at them like that. Very feminist show, guys. Very feminist superhero show. 100%. Totally has respect for this show. Totally has respect for women and female superhero characters. Yes. And she was like, the thing that kills me about this scene is Jen takes no responsibility. She tries to pass the buck, no accountability whatsoever, because she's a woman. She's a woman in a mainstream media. Of course not. But yeah, I was angry. What do you expect me to, like I said, I have not released that reaction yet, but in episode 8, Intelligentsia, that whole group, my subscribers probably haven't heard of this group yet, because I have not released all these reactions, but there's a group called Intelligentsia. It's supposed to be like, kind of like anonymous Reddit, 4chan, 8chan, whatever. Male trolls, because that's the biggest threat to a woman with superpowers, are male trolls online. Because the female writers are totally not inserting their own personal experiences, their own pussy ass personal experiences into a fucking television show that should definitely have high stakes. Anyway, but there's this group called Intelligentsia. They don't like women, especially She-Hulk, and they hired this hot Asian soft boy to fuck her and get her vulnerable enough so he could steal her blood for them. We'll get to that in a minute and why that is completely irrelevant now. But yeah, that happens, and then fast forward a few episodes, and she's at the Female Lawyer of the Year award gala. Yes. That's a fucking thing in this show. It's so juvenile. I would give it a pass if it was just funny and just somehow relevant. Just anything. But yeah, fast forward. Female Lawyer of the Year award. And it turns out it's a total farce, because of course it is. She's up on stage. She gets up on stage with like 4 or 5 other fucking women accepting the same award. And then suddenly Intelligentsia puts up all her personal information, doxes her and shit. And then a sex tape of her and hot Asian soft boy fucking in her house. Because he set up a camera and, of course, filmed her without her permission. Once again, very high stakes for this female superhero. And then, yeah, on screen, basically, and this shit is shown in front of her family, colleagues, friends, very embarrassing stuff. But is it something that is that detrimental to a superhero's life? No, it isn't. But that's besides the point. She gets very angry, trashes the fucking place to the point where the ceiling nearly caves in. You got debris falling from the ceiling. It actually demolishes one of the tables, one of the dining tables. So symbolizing that, yeah, if she had gotten a little bit angrier, she probably would have fucking killed her family and friends and colleagues. But more importantly, her family and fucking friends, because she just couldn't keep her shit together. So, and apparently she thinks that she is owed sympathy for that. Like, oh, I was angry. Anyone would have been angry in that situation. Anyone would have almost killed their family and friends by caving in a fucking building over a goddamn sex tape. Anyone would have done that. Anybody. This is relatable. Right, ladies? Right, ladies? You almost kill people when you get angry, right? This isn't contradictory to how we set up this character in episode 1, right? I control my anger infinitely more than you, Bruce. But watch how I almost kill my family and friends over a fucking sex tape. Which, by the way, is never referenced again. No one points out the bitter irony of that. Nobody points out how she was wrong the whole time and Bruce was completely right. Because of course you're not going to do that. Of course not. Of course not. You cannot have your white female superhero come up against any accountability whatsoever. Just nah. This is not happening. Anyway, where are we going? Okay, next we jump to Jen at home, flipping through news channels, talking about her Hulk incident and her plea deal. Peering out the window, her apartment is surrounded by reporters asking for comment. That scene, funnily enough, this is how I knew these leaks were real. Because that clip of the news crew outside her window was actually in the trailer. But I didn't say anything because, I just didn't, just wasn't something that I wanted to just announce because it's fucking She-Hulk, who cares? But funnily enough, I knew the leaks were real because that scene was in the trailer. Why would you put that in there? I mean, it does look innocuous. It's an innocuous part of the trailer. Like, oh, of course people would be, the media would be hounding her. She's a superhero. But still, I just thought that was weird. Like, it's a scene that didn't show up at all during the previous 8 episodes, and then you're like, okay, so this must be a deleted scene. Whatever. Let's just move on. I dwell on unimportant things. Next, Jen is eating dinner with her parents, and they offered to let her move back in with them if she can't find a new job, because she was fired. Because of course, I'm not. I wouldn't keep your crazy ass employed with me. Actually, I would have fired you when I saw you twerking with Megan Thee Stallion, but that's just me. Next, we see another jump as Jen is walking through her empty. We see another jump as Jen is walking through her empty apartment as she can't find work. She walks out. Yeah, she has to move out of her. Jesus Christ. Yes, she has to move out of her apartment because I guess she ran it. Well, then again, she was arrested, so they probably were like, I don't give a damn if you have money or not. Just go. But we're meant to be sad about it, and that bothers me. You knew what you were doing the entire time. It didn't feel like it, because keep in mind, they set it up to where she recovers from her anger very easily. She's much more cognizant than Bruce was in the beginning. So you can't just set that up and say, oh, she has no control over her anger, or that her anger is justified, when you set it up for her to easily recover. Which means she knew what she was doing the entire time. Which means she's a selfish cunt with no regard for anyone else's safety. But anyway. Then she's trying to enter her parents' house, but the reporters follow her and are accosting her there. Her dad sprays them with the hose, and oh my god. See, I'm reading faster than it can come out of my mouth. Her dad sprays them with the hose as she's watering the lawn. Sorry, as he is watering the lawn. Jesus Christ. Jen is carrying a box of her stuff into her childhood room, and she sits. We see a Legally Blonde poster and Aaron Brockovich. We see a Legally Blonde and Aaron Brockovich poster because, of course, just so one-dimensional. A UCLA Bruins pennant and a Midsummer Night's Dream play poster. She's so deep. So deep. Next, at night, Nikki is chatting with Jen's mom about food and seeing baby pictures, while she and Jen stand in front of a board showing they're investigating who the Hulk King is. And now I want you to see a scene. Hold on, let me get it set up. I want to show you something, this line delivery. It's hilariously bad. Oh, Jesus, where is it? Where is it? It's hilariously terrible. This is the friend. This is the friend walking in. It's some funny shit. I died laughing, of like laughter and confusion, because it was such bad acting. Wait a minute, can you guys hear this? Oh, god damn it. I'm not re-recording, but yeah, the scene with Mallory Book saying, that scene that I just showed. Yeah, apparently I didn't have the fucking sound on, so you guys couldn't hear it. Basically, she was saying, girl, fuck Intelligentsia and trying to capture them. We need to talk about your case, you crazy bitch. And Jen says, oh, but they need to be held accountable. But like, bitch, but Mallory was like, bitch, you almost killed people. It was like, I was angry. And then Jen's like, I was angry, okay? Anyone would have done that. But Mallory's like, you're not just anybody. You're a fucking Hulk and you nearly killed people. You're a crazy cunt. Fuck you. Basically the whole scene. Just in case you didn't hear that. I know you didn't. You didn't hear that. Jesus, this is why I like editing out shit. But anyway, yeah, here's the friend and her terrible line delivery.
No, just a sparkling water and a turkey sandwich and chips and guac. And yes, I want to see the rest of those baby pictures, Elaine. Thank you.
Was that supposed to be fucking funny? Because that was just shit. I mean, I was laughing, but it was out of pain. Not because it was actually funny. But that was the worst. You were never going to get work after this. If you're not an established name in Hollywood, and you're in a Disney or Marvel film, or Marvel property that's this fucking bad, you're never going to work after this. I hope you know this. Ask the guy who played Aladdin. He said he was so hard for him to get work. He was Aladdin! And he couldn't get work worth a damn, not until that Netflix romantic film he was in. And now he's back to not getting work again. Anyway, okay, basically the Hulk King is who did this to her. Intelligentsia, the Intelligentsia platform is owned by several international shell companies and security is airtight. Nikki discusses finding and destroying them while Mom gives her food and cookies to take home. as well as a video from Jen in college twerking in her dorm room with her friends because she just can't fucking help herself. She twerked in college. Okay, whatever. Mom asks when all this was going to be out. Mom asks when all this was going to be out of her living room. Nikki and Mom's banter is fun. Okay. I think the person who wrote these leaks is an actual fan of the show. Or it might have been a staffer who just leaked this shit to see what the hype would be for this episode. Because if you think studios won't do that shit, they will. Nikki opens up a text to a video of Dennis trashing Jen in an interview, calling her psycho way before she got those superpowers. I don't disagree. And what killed me about that scene is that he intimated that he slept with Jen and they were in a relationship. If you don't like her, why are you saying you used to fuck her? I don't get that. I really don't. He doesn't like her. They're not on good terms. Why would he say he slept with her when he could say he slept with someone way better? like Megan the Stallion? Anyway, really dumb. Very, very dumb. And that's the last we see of Dennis, by the way. Just the last we see him. Jen goes to her room and lays on her bed and then starts talking to us, fourth walling. It's the first of many of that in this episode. She-Hulk never again, which I know is what I said I wanted, but this doesn't feel right. This isn't even a reluctant superhero story. I'm just getting screwed over. Yeah, we know. We hate it. We hate it. Is this what you guys want? She asks us directly. No. It's what the writers want because they are fucking insecure femcells who have been slighted in their lives and they are using you as a self-insert. So if you got beef with them. And we'll get to that later on as well. The 70s style voiceover from the beginning starts again, and Jen says, "No, we're not doing a narrator. We're not that off the rails." Which is funny because that's exactly what happens later. But let's not pretend like the first 8 episodes weren't already off the rails in terms of quality. That is complete garbage. And he stops. She texts Bruce and it won't deliver. He's AWOL. She texts Emil. Emil would understand. Would he though? Would he though? But also doesn't deliver. Well, he said come back anytime. This is a time. And she packs and leaves. I'm not running from my problems. This is a mental health break. Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing. That's very millennial of you. When I leave my problems because I'm too chicken shit to deal with them, it's not me leaving my problems. I'm just having a mental health day. Yeah, like I said, very millennial. Next we see Nikki at the office at night uploading that college twerking video to the Intelligentsia site. She's typing negative stuff on the site and gets a DM from Hulk King inviting her to an anti-She-Hulk event. You know, what would have been nice if it turned out that Nikki wasn't behind the Intelligentsia shit the whole time. Because imagine, like, this little preening, like, insignificant, annoying little fly is buzzing in your ear constantly, encouraging you and telling you to do the wrong thing all the time. To the point where you almost think it's sabotage. Like, yeah, you're being treated as a token, but look at all this insignificant, withering shit it's getting us. Yeah, your dating profile. Why don't you do all this unethical shit to get dick? Because dick is the only thing that's important in life. Yeah, let's only talk about you dating because that in a superhero show, that's what's important. when we see these Intelligentsia guys, why don't we just fucking kill them? And I'm thinking, how aren't you the villain? Because every time you tell her something, you tell her something negative and she does it. She's not your friend. You see, a chick like that is not your friend. That's tried and tested throughout history. If some hoe is in your ear, like, she's the type of bitch who will fuck your man and said, "Come on, I was only trying to test him. You know I'm crazy." Nikki is that bitch. But they treat her like she's some kind of good friend. I don't appreciate that. But anyway. She's typing negative stuff on this site and gets a DM from the Hulk King inviting her to an anti-She-Hulk event. She then tells Pug she needs her favor now. Now, yeah, because the episode, there's an episode where they go to this, like, Taylor place. I think that was that episode for it? No, I didn't release that episode yet. But yeah, Pug, apparently he's a shoe collector, and then he teamed up with Nikki because she needed some secret clothes for Jen, and he promised to give her his connect if she helped him out, whatever. It's that, like, anyway, excuse me. They owe each other favors, and she called in a favor. Essentially. Because all of this is pretty much rendered irrelevant by the end of this episode. So it doesn't really fucking matter. Now we see Jen pull up that night to Emil's retreat center, greeted by the reformed Wrecker who had fought her back near the start of the season. Which is completely forgotten about. Like, she still doesn't question him and ask, why did you try to steal my blood? That was so weird. For my subscribers, he shows up later in an episode at the retreat as a completely reformed. Like, he's a sensitive male feminist fuckboy now, and completely reformed. Apologized to Jen for being the toxic male that he was. And then everything is fucking forgiven because that's what this show is. And then he shows up again, they meet again, and she still doesn't ask why he and his goons were trying to take her blood. Absolutely no concern for that whatsoever. Even though they bring it fucking up again in the same episode. Anyway, let's continue. I just need a place to stay for a couple of days. She's reading Emil's book in her room there. The book sucks. Pug and Nikki pull up to a gate, and Nikki gives him an earbud so he can go inside and get as much intel as possible. Nikki will be listening in. Pug is reluctant, but gets his head in the game. He enters the event as Nikki stays on the phone with him, but the reception sucks. Guys are saying essentially what the trolls say online. Why does there need to be a She-Hulk when there's a He-Hulk? No one's ever fucking said that because She-Hulk has been around longer than this show. So I don't know what the fuck you were talking about. The writers are complete dodos. I don't have to tell you about this whole commentary about internet trolls. It doesn't make sense because they give them word for word lines that people say, or at least the structuring is based on fictional characters, and it's still structured that way in the show where these characters are perceived as real. So it does not make sense whatsoever. It's not funny, it's not creative, because let's be honest, a lot of fucking studios do this shit now. But it's mostly, yeah, like I said, it's just an outlet for the very bitch-made, soy-filled writer's room. That's what it is. It's it's just it's stupid. And Lady Thor, okay, she just sucks, but she does. So that one is actually 100% accurate. It's 100%. She did. She had cancer. What was hilarious about Thor, Love and Thunder, is that she has cancer, and then she gets the Thor powers, and she's completely cured. But when she's not Thor, and like she gets out of her Thor form or whatever, she's back to having cancer again. And like every time she goes in and out, she's slowly dying more and more as the film goes on. It's hilarious. It's actually funny. Because it's actually, the powers are actually doing more harm than good. And it's it's this whole shoehorn thing. He tells the Mjolnir, please protect my girlfriend, please. And, but it doesn't protect her because she has cancer, and it gets progressively worse as the film goes on. So the fucking thing didn't even protect her. That movie is so shit. And in the comics, I think, judging from what I have seen in panels and what fans have said, yeah, Jane Foster is complete garbage as the mighty Thor. It sucks. So that statement is 100% accurate. I don't understand. So, yeah, these trolls, that's not a trollish statement. It's an accurate statement. That's like being a grass enthusiast. No, being a tree enthusiast and saying that grass... No, wait. I was going to come up with this whole fucking analogy and it just doesn't work. Just forget it. Forget I said anything. Anyway. So nodding to Thor, Love and Thunder. Okay. He tries to blend in, join in the misogynistic conversations. Misogynistic. Ugh, they consider that misogynistic conversation. Todd walks up as Todd talks. It's a fucking tongue twister. Todd talks up Pug as Nikki's reception gets worse. Todd talks shit about She-Hulk because basically Todd was the leader of Intelligentsia the entire fucking time. Duh. They even point this out later on in the show. Jen points out that, oh, you're the leader of Intelligentsia, and Todd's like, well, duh. And I'm like, yeah, duh. That's exactly right. Because he was following her around the entire series. Like, it's pretty obvious by the questions he was asking in episode 2? Whatever. Or 3? Whichever, the dating episode, whatever. That, like, he was asking her very, like, clinical questions. Like a doctor or some shit. And then he said she was a specimen. So it was very clear. It's like she just wrote him off as like some harmless misogynist instead of actually being worried that someone tried to steal my blood and now this creepy motherfucker is asking me very scientific clinical questions about my physiological makeup. I could be a hero and put 2 and 2 together and figure this out. But she doesn't do that. She's just like, oh, he's just beneath me as a man. Gah. He's just a little bitch boy. I don't, even though I swiped right on him and I have control over who I fucking date with dating apps. Anyway. Todd recognizes Pug. Of course you're one of us. Welcome, bro. Yeah, I would have thought that he was one of them anyway. Like that his creepy introduction on the show, you know. Todd talks up Pug as Nikki's, oh, right. I reread that part. Jesus Christ. Todd talks shit about She-Hulk, saying she isn't as strong as the Hulk. She shouldn't be, technically. She shouldn't have powers. She shouldn't have her powers with, she wouldn't have had her powers without him. Also true. It's also true, technically. And she doesn't deserve her powers. Also true. Pug is blending in well. Pug is blending in well with Nikki in his ear. Todd admits to being Hulk King and creating Intelligentsia. Nikki's reception cuts and Pug is on his own. Todd. I got Pug and Todd mixed up. Jesus Christ. Todd admits to being Hulk King and creating... Oh, I read that. Nikki's reception cuts and Pug is on his own. Todd then goes up on stage talking about hacking Jen's phone and how the action is just getting started. He's getting the crowd amped. Jen talks to Wrecker in the kitchen, looking for a meal, and Wrecker says he's down at the lodge at some private event. Very, almost like we don't know what's going to happen. Todd then introduces a special guest speaker. It's Emil in his abomination form for some reason. And this is why this is a problem. This doesn't make any sense. Here's why. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Because Emil and Jen are on good terms. And this is an anti-She-Hulk rally with an anti-She-Hulk organization. You're telling me they didn't disclose the fact that that's what they were before booking him? And how did they not know that Emil Blonsky was one of her clients and represented him? It was fucking televised, for fuck's sake. What did they think? What did they think would happen inviting this motherfucker who got off on a prison escape charge and is on good terms with his lawyer, who is She-Hulk? What did they think was going to happen when they invited this motherfucker? The dude who is in his monster form, by the way. What were they going to do? What was the plan there? That didn't make any sense. On either end, it just doesn't make goddamn sense. The crowd cheers for him as Emil speaks as a life coach, talks about seizing your personal goals. Like I said, it doesn't make sense. Jen is walking the grounds looking for the lodge. Emil is talking. These are actually kind of written weird, to be honest. Emil is talking how Todd said everyone here is Emil is talking how Todd said everyone here is unsatisfied with their place in the world and says, "Do not ask permission," which can be misconstrued. I think that was on purpose. So you could misconstrue that as something inappropriate because they're talking to what's basically considered like a men's rights rally or like a misogynistic rally. So you can misinterpret that as something like rapey. Because they didn't have the balls or the writing talent to make Blonsky a villain again. So he had to be deceived into sounding like he was egging on a bunch of fucking misogynists. It's really dumb. It's really bad. Jen enters the lodge. It's the Intelligentsia event. Emil? Jennifer? Emil changes back into his human form. She asks what Todd is doing here and questions Emil turning into the abomination against his parole. He says it's just to do speaking engagements and private events. Nothing bad, but she's upset at him. Nikki breaks in the door. Jen turns into her. Oh my God, Jen turns to her. Jesus Christ. Jen turns to her and Pug. "What are you doing here?" Nikki says they all need to get out of here as Pug tells Jen that Todd is the Hulk King. Jen confronts him in front of the crowd as Todd admits to hiring Josh to seduce her, make the sex tape, tap her phone, and get some of her blood. His team also synthesized her blood so he could get her powers. He takes off his jacket, saying he didn't get handed superpowers, that he earned them. Earning, I guess, all the work he did invading her privacy and gathering her blood and getting a guy to fuck her. That work. I mean, I guess he synthesized her blood as well, but it's like, so you're really a mad scientist who has all this shit at his disposal to synthesize fucking gamma radioactive blood? I think, like, of course, no thought being put into his backstory or anything, and or why he's able to do this shit. None. Like, there's supposed to be some kind of, like, childish, mindless, misogynistic website, but yet the leader of this like, these stupid man babies is a fucking scientist who can synthesize Hulk blood? Huh? Clearly they're more dangerous than you fucking say, but, like, you want to have it both ways. Either they're not dangerous and they're harmless, like little dick man babies, or they can synthesize Hulk blood, inject the shit, and make a whole fucking misogynistic army of Hulk people. Which is it? And what the fuck are you trying to say about people who dislike your shitty show? What the fuck? What the fuck? Jen confronts him in the ground. He takes off his jacket, saying he didn't get handed superpowers, that he earned them, as one of his minions hands him a syringe of green stuff. He injects himself, and Jen asks, "This is not gonna work, right?" Bitch, do you not remember the first episode where blood was merely your cousin's blood was merely dripped onto a fucking wound and you immediately became She-Hulk? Of course it's gonna work, stupid! This isn't gonna work, is it? So she's as dumb as a dog. No. That's an insult to dogs. I don't know what she's as dumb as yet, but it's pretty fucking dumb. And turns to us in disbelief and asks, "We're not actually doing it." No, we're doing this. Todd turns into a green Hulk. This can't possibly where this season was going, Jen says to us. Todd completes his transformation, and by the way, he completes his transformation. I should get to this scene and show it to you. I should show it to you first so you can really... This is so bad. Yeah, speaking of which, he takes the blood, says, "Oh, I didn't earn much power," and then this is how that scene proceeds.
This is not gonna work, right? We're not actually doing this.
Why isn't it?
Some of the worst goddamn special effects.
This can't possibly be where this season was
Stop fucking asking stupid questions.
going.
Yeah, come at me, bro!
Yeah, so that's that thing. That's dialogue. That's comedy. According to Margaret Cho, or whatever the fuck her name is. Yeah, so yeah, he says, "Come at me, bro." He says, "Come at me, bro." Okay, and it says Todd completes his transformation and Titania breaks through the wall. Surprise, losers! Come on! And then Jen says, "Come on, Titania too? This isn't messy enough?" Really? You remember the first season where she did exactly that? Randomly busting it through a wall, inexplicably, trying to kill people for no apparent reason? The show hasn't been this fucking dumb and random already? Come on, Jen! Like now they're like, oh, like this, they're writing this shit like some of this, the same out of pot, like some of the same crazy shit hasn't already happened on the show already under their watch. Because later on, it's implied that, oh, well, we didn't write this shit. This was all Kevin Feige's idea. All of it. All of this episode. We're about subversion. The other 8 episodes. It's like, how are you not keeping up with your own shit? You've done all of this same shit, even without Kevin Feige's help. So I don't know why the fuck, what's up with the fourth wall shit? It's not working. Anyway, but it seems she's no longer talking to us and pleading with the writers and producers. Todd goes to attack Jen as Abomination picks her up and saves her. Aw, that's cute. The guys at the event start attacking Emile to get her as Bruce drops from the fucking ceiling. I mean, yeah, and it's not just me saying that. Like, it's actually written here. Bruce drops from the fucking ceiling as Jen cries, "Bruce?" And then then Bruce goes, "Let go of my cousin, asshole," because, Mark Ruffalo is a mumbler. And then Bruce says to Emile, and Emile says, "It's not what you think," as Hulk starts to fight him. Titania throws someone, because what else is he gonna do with this bitch? She's completely useless. Just have her just randomly kill somebody. Nothing else to do. What is even happening here? Jen asks, annoyed. Bruce Abomination battle goes on in the background. She turns to the screen and says, "This is a mess. None of these storylines make any sense." Oh, really? We've been saying that for the longest fucking time. That's kind of why no one likes your fucking show. "Is this working for you?" she asks us. We hear a power down sound. The screen the screen suddenly cuts to the Disney Plus app. We're on the Marvel tab. "Hey, what do you think you're doing? This menu is not gonna stop me," Jen says, because that fourth wall. She punches out the She-Hulk icon from behind, looking around at what's below her. She finds a Marvel Assembled episode. Looks like Shang-Chi. Why does that have a Marvel Assembled episode? And she swings down and kicks it. This is the scene where we see Land. This is the scene where we see Land on her feet. Oh my god, we see her land on her feet. I think some of this isn't written right. It isn't written well. We see her land on her feet in a studio in her She-Hulk form, wearing her suit. Now that was also like a little clip from the trailer of her landing on her feet in her outfit, shown as a teaser of her outfit. Also something that they should not have put in the trailer. She finds her suit. She looks around and crosses the Disney studio looking for someone. She finds She-Hulk's production office and sneaks in. We cut to the writers in the writer's room talking about making the entire second season an extended dream sequence. Of course, because they're lazy idiots. Like, that is like the most overused trope in that's the most overused lazy trope. Like, it was all a dream. Like, that's like only kids do that now. Kids who write fan fiction do that shit now. She-Hulk enters and everyone falls silent. What the hell, you guys? What kind of stupid finale is this? I concur. I would actually go even further as to say, what kind of stupid show is this? But hey, whatever. And then one of the writers says, "We thought it would be really cool and kind of unexpected, kind of a twist." And by the way, the writer's room looks like everyone in the writer's room looks exactly how you think they would look. Like the biggest gaggle of fucking losers you have ever fucking seen. Excuse me. The biggest gaggle of inclusive losers. Look at that. Look. Yay. I feel so represented. I'm sure everyone got equal fucking treatment in that writer's room. Even the white guy. But yeah, we got white guy, fucking Madonna fused with Robert Englund. We got Margaret Cho, black woman, white woman, like I said, Margaret Cho again, another black person, and I think that's a black dude. Yeah, look at Sugar Bear. They got Sugar Bear in the writer's room. Hang on. I want to get like a good look at him. I'm trying to get like a really... There he is. Sugar Bear writes for She-Hulk. Oh, brother. Why didn't you, like, the first day of you walking in to the She-Hulk writer's room, when you saw nothing but fucking women, you should have walked the other way. No offense. I'm not saying no woman can write, or that all women generally can't write. I'm saying all the women who are picked for jobs like these cannot write. Because they're fucking cheap, easy labor who are easily manipulated into making, like I said, cheap, processed, fast crap like She-Hulk. Anyway, yeah. Oh, oh, he's so sad. Anyway, let's get back to it. Where the fuck did I leave off at? Jesus. Jen criticizes the whole idea as being from every other superhero story ever. Really? No. There have been incomprehensible, cluttered fucking superhero films. I will admit that. But she's speaking as if that's the standard for Marvel, that like it has been for those whole 10 years, and I'm just like, no. Hell no. Like cluttered and incomprehensible. I would describe that as phase 4. Definitely phase 4. But to say that's how Marvel has been this whole 10 years prior to that, no. No. You like, yeah, all of the superhero films are crap, so we can get away with being crap, right? Like, no, don't try to muddy all that shit. Like, it's so, because they know the people, the Marvel stans who love their shit are just complete fucking lemmings who will believe this shit, who will wholeheartedly believe it, because the show, that's why they do it. That's why the writers bully people into liking their shit. What? Oh, you don't like our stuff? You're not you want to criticize us? You're not like a man baby incel, right? You're not that person, right? So they're kind of like bullied into liking it and just saying that it's good, and therefore, and then they resort to bullying other people who also don't like it or criticize it, because, well, you know, got to do what the corporation tells you to do. Like, that's why they do that. It's just to bully people into liking their shit. But the thing is that people, and I mean people, not Marvel stans, people do not use media, or like the consumption of media, as some kind of social status. Oh my god, I saw the new Marvel flick, and I saw it first, and it was so cool and super cool, and I loved it. Oh my god, I got no bitches. Yeah, they use it as some kind of status symbol. It becomes their whole personality. So when someone like me comes along and starts criticizing it, they feel like they themselves are being personally criticized. And they've already been beaten down by Disney and Marvel so much by the rhetoric that they plop out in their weak ass fucking IPs, that they're so beaten down that they can't help but feel like someone like me, my criticism is an affront to their entire being, which is so sad and very pathetic. That's why I just have fun with these people on Twitter. I don't get personally like offended by any of them, because like you actually think that these people are your friends and that they're making this content for you when they're really making it for themselves. They hire a bunch of fucking jackasses who, like narcissistic jackasses, who make this stuff for themselves. They don't make it for the public. You know, they're basically disposable, because you can't, they will never hire reputable writers and directors to work for them. It's just not going to happen. Disney and Marvel, like, it's just like their mentality with the VFX studio. They want cheap, they want fast, and they want halfway decent. It's okay, maybe not so good. They don't care. Because they know the motherfuckers, the consumers, who are gonna like this no matter what, they're gonna come and they're going to come out their wallets for this garbage. They're gonna get on Disney Plus. They're gonna pay that fucking fine. They're gonna do all that. They're gonna buy the merch. They're gonna buy whatever. Their obedience is guaranteed. It's built in. So that's why they get such, they treat their VFX people, well, they still treat their VFX people a lot worse than their writers. Because you have to make the writers feel special. Like the VFX people, they're basically just fast food workers to these motherfuckers. Just make the slop and shut the fuck up. At least they fucking pay the writers. See, the writers, like I said, the writers they hire are narcissists. So they have to keep souping up their heads and thinking that they're contributing to diversity and the betterment of the future of the United States by making this garbage. So they will keep making the garbage. But the VFX people, yeah. One, if you don't like it, we can replace you with somebody else. They treat them like shit. But anyway, let's get off that. Where the fuck did I leave off at? Oh my god. Okay, let me find my place. Okay, there are certain, like one of the writers says, there are certain things that are supposed to happen in a superhero story. A writer says to her, and Jen is pissed but leans in, why do we just do things our way, like you haven't been doing that so far? But you've been doing that so far. This is a glorified, She-Hulk has been nothing but a glorified rom-com with mentions of superheroes. That's it. It's a glorified romantic comedy. And not even a good one. Not even a good one. It's not enjoyable. It's not funny. It doesn't really make you think at all. But that's what you get from someone who wrote Pickle fucking Rick. Ugh. Why don't we just do things our way? Like, there's certain ways to write a superhero story, but you have not been fucking doing that this entire time. If you've been writing this show like an actual traditional superhero story, people actually wouldn't be trashing it that much. You got your fucking lead character thinking only of herself, only doing heroic shit out of either obligation or some kind of self-interest. Or she has to be told how to be a hero. And that was at the very tail end of this fucking season. By a man, by the way, which is also kind of contradictory to her character, how her character was set up in episode 1, if you think about it. She says, plain as day, I don't like it when men explain my expertise to me. I get talked down to by men. I'm always getting told what to do by men and condescended to by men. And what does Matt do? What does Matt do? Like, aka Daredevil. What does he do when he fucking shows up for the first time? He talks down to her, tells her, like, yeah, just follow my lead. This is how you be a hero. This is that. Which which should have completely pissed off Jen. Jen should have hated Daredevil. She should have hated Matt. by logistically, that's what should have happened. But no, Matt is hot and he's a favorite character, and so she had to get wet for him. She had to be attracted to him. She had to fuck him because it basically all that had to do was like, yeah, he's hot. And I guess the writers thought, well, the audience likes him, so Jen has to really like him. But all she does is kind of like fuck him. Apparently that was sufficient enough. She didn't appreciate him as a fucking hero or as a lawyer. She kind of just soaked up his essence and fucked him. She kind of got secondhand heroism from him and then slobbed on his knob. That's it. I wouldn't call that like residual appreciation that's coming from the audience. He's basically being used as a fuck doll for this character. Like, even in the show, she's like once again, it's just, they bring him back just so she can fucking make goo-goo eyes at him again. Not because he could be valuable to the show, which he was, because that was the only thing perking my ears up during the show. Like I said, it didn't make it better. It didn't endear me to her or anything about this show. But it did, like I said, I was paying attention. Anyway, what was I saying? Where did I leave off at? It was going somewhere, and I completely lost the plot. Oh. But yeah, you haven't been doing anything even remotely resembling a superhero story until episode 8, and that's when Daredevil, a real hero, showed up. You had no choice but to actually make him a real hero and not make him a loathsome piece of shit, because he's a fan favorite and he has a show to promote. So they couldn't write him their way. I think he would have been a lot worse as a character if Kevin Feige had let them do what they wanted to do with him. I think that was the only time he stepped in and was like, look, don't do that gay shit that y'all be doing with male characters. Just do what I say, shut the fuck up, and write him well. These are the notes. This is how you do it. This is Matt Murdock right here. Like, it's a guideline. Follow it and shut the fuck up. Anyway. This is the story that Kevin wants, they say. Okay, I want to talk to Kevin. And they all laugh at once. And like, no one talks to Kevin. They talk about how they die for Kevin, and she calls him creepy, of course. She leaves and then goes to talk to... The fuck? Did I miss something? Something got a little cut off. I'm on part 4 of the notes. Anyway, she enters Kevin's office and they ask her to sign an NDA. They press a panic button and security comes, but she pushes them out of the way. Pushes them out of the way is like very... It's putting it lightly. That's a really nice way to put that. She beats the shit out of them for no reason. Like, she basically brutalizes them for no reason whatsoever. In fact, I'm going to show you a little bit of it. Where is it? Let's see. Let's hope I can actually show this. I should flip this horizontal so I don't get any issues with copyright. Oh no, I can't transform it. I guess I can't transform it while it's recording. Jesus. Uh-oh. Let me mute it because it has copyrighted music. Yeah, she pushes one guy out the way, but the rest is like this woman who... Yeah, she kicked that guy. Well, she tripped those guys up, and then she just knocks her right into that picture frame. Breaks the glass, so you know she's kind of scratched up. Breaks this guy's arm. Pulverizes his stomach. knocks him dead ass into the wall. She leaves a crack and a dent in the fucking wall. Hang on, let's rewind that. Okay, we got chest completely caved in from that because she's a Hulk, keep in mind. We got glass shards in the arm, possibly maybe a broken elbow. Breaks his arm, boom. We got a pulverized stomach, possibly a pulverized rib, maybe some broken ribs, maybe. And then booyahs him right into the fucking wall. Probably cracking his skull wide open. Look at that. Look at that crack. Look at that dent. And uses his eyes for like the retinal scan. Completely fucking unnecessary. Unnecessary violence. And I bet you this show, if it even gets to season 2, I don't think it'll get to season 2, we'll probably do an episode on police brutality. But will completely justify violence used by She-Hulk in the exact same way, maybe worse. Anyway, that was that. Oh, she kind of pushes him out the way. That was really nice of this person to make, like, oh, it was just a push. She didn't pulverize these fucking people. Anyway, fascism into Big Energy by Lotto. Yeah, really stupid song. And like I said, they play another girl boss song while this happens, by the way. Yeah, she's beating people to death. She breaks into Kevin's secure area. She enters a circular room full of monitors playing various Marvel projects at once. Thor Ragnarok, Doctor Strange 2, Age of Ultron, of course all the shitty ones. Whoa, what is this? Oh, well, they also show Infinity War. But I don't know what, like, this person highlights only the shitty ones. And Jen's like, whoa, what is this? She says. A red and white robot dropped from the ceiling. They zoom in and it's labeled K.E.V.I.N. Like it's an acronym, by the way. K.E.V.I.N. Hello, Jennifer, it says in a robotic voice. Kevin? She asks. It stands for Knowledge Enhanced Visual Interconnectivity Nexus, whatever the fuck. Were you expecting a man? A man that you could berate and belittle? Like, of course I would expect a man. I need someone to kick in the balls. She finds out, it's the one making all the decisions, and it says it will answer her questions, but first she needs to change back into Jennifer. She asks why. He says, because you are very expensive. She don't look expensive. She looked like a $2 hoe. And I don't mean like literally, but like she looks like she is worth $2. He asked her to wait till the camera pans away because the VFX team has moved on to another project. You mean another project you forced them to move on to? Are you fucking like pointing out that your bad management of your VFX team as a joke? Like are you playing that off as a fucking joke? Really? Like, a lot of these motherfuckers say how they're overworked and stressed out and how they're not getting paid properly, and you want to joke about that. Okay. All right. Disney probably has this whole thing. Who knows? They probably threaten these motherfuckers, I bet. Because that's just like, that is some like, that is that stereotypical, above the law type fucking mentality. Like, yeah, I know we it's in the news that we mistreat our VFX team, but like, who gives a fuck? Who cares? It's like, it reminds me of that Dick Cheney video where like someone's asking him some shit. Some interviewer, it might have been Barbara Walters, I don't know. But he was in this interview and he was being asked a question. Something about the American people and their safety or their concern about their safety and what the hell he's doing it. And he said, so what? So who gives a fuck? Fuck him. It reeks of that. Anyway, so now we're with Jen. The AI talks about how well it does with the films and series. And she tells it she's not happy with what's happening in her story. And he says, you do not get to choose. That's right. Lay down the law, K.E.V.I.N. Why not? It's my show. Of course, you would think it's your show. Like, you've been relying solely on cameos. It's not your show. Even if it was just you, it's still not your show. You're owned by Marvel and Disney. It's not your show. It'll never be a show. It never ain't gonna be fucking, no. She levels with him and has to give her closing argument. Oh, I see what you did there. Yeah, that's not clever. Like, the writers are just constantly patting themselves on the back for this weak shit tier jokes. She makes the argument that the MCU is known for big spectacles and high-stake plot lines. It's also known for good characters. Something that's not known for anymore. But it's often said that Marvel films all end the same way. They all end the same way? Like, most good versus evil stories end the same way. Well, I don't know why we're oh my god, I forgot I don't know why we're singling out Marvel for this. Usually good versus evil shows and like all media ends the same way. Usually. Ends the same way. And just because something ends, they all end the same way doesn't mean they all end poorly. I love this, like, how, like, they're just trashing the previous 10 years. Oh, they all end the same way, you know, they're so tropey. As if this show isn't also the tropiest piece of shit. It's just tropey in a way that's very, like I said, rom-com. Very rom-com, very female pandery, tropey shit. Just because you're doing something different from what this particular franchise does, doesn't mean you're doing something different. In general. It's just different from this franchise. A franchise that had been doing very well until they started in with this bullshit. Anyway, but also, it's often said that Marvel films all end the same way. And Kevin says, wait, who's saying that? It asks, she criticizes them throwing all this plot and flash and a blood thing that and a blood thing that oddly resembles super soldier serum. Oddly? It doesn't oddly resemble it, because I think in the comics and in previous films, it's been made clear that the gamma thing was a way to, like, they were trying to replicate, it was a way to replicate the effects of the super soldier serum. Like, they were trying to make their own version of super soldier serum. So you're not a fucking genius for pointing that out. I'm not gonna give you fucking props for pointing out something that was fucking obvious. Yeah, it's almost like you didn't know that. And that's something you should know as someone who's writing a comic book story from source material that's a fucking comic book. Anyway, shit. At the audience and climax, I propose we don't have to do that. It distracts from the story, which is my life fell apart right as I was learning to be both Jen and the She-Hulk. When was that? Because at first you were like, oh, I don't want to be a Hulk. Then you started getting some cock, and then you decided you wanted to be She-Hulk. Not really a sincere or thought-provoking or even interesting plotline. At all. You were getting attention from boys, and that's why you wanted to be a superhero. Not even a superhero. You wanted to be She-Hulk because wanted to get your insides tickled. That's what it was. You want to get pounded. And that's why you wanted to become She-Hulk, which is, like I said before, I don't think I've said it in my reactions yet, but like She-Hulk is one of the most misogynistic fucking shows I've ever seen in my life. It doesn't do women any favors. Not in a writer's room perspective, and not in like any of the women, not for female characters at all. If anything, it sets women back. Actually, it reminds me of that. Oh my God, SNL even made fun of this shit. SNL made fun, like, it was that skit they made where Black Widow finally got her own movie, but like they dumbed it down and made it very girly, like a rom-com movie. Because they the joke was, people don't really have respect for female superheroes. And guess what they went and did, unironically, for She-Hulk? They made it they took out all of like any kind of stake she might have had. They didn't give her they didn't show her story or her character any kind of respect, and they just made it like a girly fucking rom-com. Just like that goddamn SNL skit that criticized that. Are you fucking kidding me? They did the exact thing they were not supposed to do with a female superhero. And that skit wasn't really that funny. But it made a good point. Because I think then the Supergirl trailer came out right after that and completely validated that skit. And now, like a couple of years fast forward, and now we have She-Hulk further validating that skit. Oh, but they got a lot of women in the writers' room, guys, and that means we got progress as women. Our characters are going to be so good now because we have women in the writers' room. Yeah. Whatever. Moving on. Hang on. Okay, she says, those are my stakes. Kevin processes the data and asks what she proposes for the ending. And she says, can we not do Todd gets Hulk powers? The powers aren't the villain, he is. Who is making that assumption? Nobody? Because if this is supposed to be some kind of callback to when she hulked out and nearly killed her family, friends, and colleagues, that doesn't work. And I think I already basically laid out why it doesn't, but let's go back through it again. Episode 1, it was established when she became She-Hulk that it was very easy for Jen to go in and out of the Hulk, in and out of Hulk rage. She, unlike Bruce, she's able to hold herself back from Hulk rage very easily. She's able to control herself much better than him because she does it infinitely more than him. Establishing that she's a much better Hulk and basically a much better character than Bruce Banner. That's how they set her up. You can't say they didn't, because they did. And now, fast forward. So that implies that if she does go into a Hulk rage, she knows exactly what the fuck she's doing. She's getting angry just like anyone else would get angry, except she has Hulk powers on top of that. Like when people get angry, nobody goes so angry that they black out completely. That's bullshit. Unless they have some kind of neurological problem, but that doesn't happen. Generally that's not a thing. She has as much control over her anger as any human being, except she has Hulk powers on top of it. So she's completely cognizant during all of this shit because that's how they set her up. She is cognizant. She knows exactly what the fuck she is doing during all this shit. There's even one part where during episode 8, where she, everyone's running out of the place, out of the gala in terror, and she fucking stops and looks around, seemingly very together. She does not look enraged. She does not look insane. She does not look out of control. She took a breather and looked completely calm, looking around the room at all the devastation. So she knew what the fuck. This is not some kind of like. See, what kills me about episode 8 is that they make that scene look like her Carrie moment. They got the red lights and shit. They're not slick. They're not fucking slick at all. They try to, it's kind of like reminiscent of Carrie, where she's on stage, she got her reward, she's humiliated, the room turns red, she flips out and nearly kills people. No, well, Carrie actually kills people, but Jen almost kills people, so I guess it's better. And then she flips out and proceeds to, lay waste to some shit. It's very Carrie reminiscent. I think it was definitely on purpose. They try to make it seem that way. Like I said, they're not slick, but it's not that, it's nowhere near that good at all. But yeah, it's not a Carrie moment because she is in control of what she does. They set her up to be more in control of her anger than Bruce. They bragged about it, her character bragged about it, like she even says 100%, I'm better than you. So like I said, and that's an implication that she is in control. So you fast forward to that, her Carrie moment, and that implies that she was cognizant the whole time. She even slows down, she even does a fourth wall break, her own little fourth wall break as she's being arrested by, I don't know, these motherfuckers with guns, whatever. So, okay, hang on a second. So to say that that's somehow tied into, the person is the villain, not the Hulk powers, not for Bruce is already proof enough that the Hulk powers are not the problem, it's the person. That the person can get control over the Hulk powers and somehow become somehow gain harmony with it. He's living proof right there. So we didn't need to be fucking told this because we already know. But the fact that she thinks this applies to her is laughable because, yeah, it is about the person and not the Hulk powers, bitch. We knew that already. So so the fact that you went nuts and nearly murdered innocent people is a reflection on you as a person, not the Hulk powers. Because that just says to me, even if you had been human, you would have taken your anger out on the wrong fucking people, regardless, Hulk powers or not. So this logic does not apply to you. And that does not tie into what the fuck, whatever bullshit you're saying. That's why people hate your character, because you as a character are the problem, not the Hulk powers. Not to mention, she's fully cognizant in the Daredevil episode where she is wrecking public property and throwing cars at Daredevil, knowing damn well he is a regular human being. So yeah, like I said, yeah, it is about the person and not the Hulk powers. You are a cunt in and out of Hulk form. That's why no one likes you. So let's move on. Kevin erases the blood plot and Bruce swooping down from literal outer space to save the day. Oh, wait, I read that wrong. Kevin erases the blood plot And then Jen says, and Bruce swooping down from literal outer space to save the day in my story. Oh yeah, but she's all right with Daredevil telling her what to do and how to be a superhero. And basically treating her like a dumbass. She's all right with that. As long as the guy is hot and she can get wet and fuck him later. That's fine. Even by all logic, she should, like I said before, like she should hate Daredevil. By her own logic. Now, I wouldn't have liked it because, like, shut up, bitch. He's a better hero than you. He has every right to fucking school you because you have no idea what you're doing and you haven't really done anything up to this point. But it would have been consistent with the character that was set up. But then again, no. It's still kind of consistent because she gets totally wet over masculinity, and it's totally on brand for a feminist or someone like her to be completely hypocritical with the type of men she likes. Like, they say they don't like that masculine man, like that masculine, like mansplaining shit, but as soon as they get with a guy that they're personally attracted to, that shit goes out the fucking window. So it's kind of on brand. Someone in the writer's room is being very honest with themselves. Anyway. But yeah, a man coming to save me. Not unlike, you know, Daredevil basically saving my ass. And like, what else was it? It was something else. Yeah, a man saving her. Yeah, he didn't save her life, but he was basically saying, like, yeah, you ain't shit. You don't know what the fuck you're doing as a hero. Just follow my fucking lead. She's all right with that, though. But that's because she can fuck that dude. Oh, right. That's what I was going to mention. The catcalling scene. She's all right with acting like a... She's all right with acting like a shrinking violet and a poor helpless little flower when three men are just trying to chat her up in front of a bar. She's terrified of that. But a man coming to save her when there's an actual fucking threat, where she can actually die? No, fuck that, him saving me? No, even though he did save me from making a mistake and nearly killing 3 people. All of which I consciously fucking made the decision to do. I'm alright with him saving my ass so that the fans of the show don't think I'm a monster. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with being a defenseless little flower, begging and like farming for sympathy for that. But a man saving me. Not in my show, bitch. Even though, like, the male characters have been saving your fucking show's ratings. Fucking Hulk, Daredevil, Wong. There was actually a fucking whole sequence of her talking like, oh yeah, Wong, you know, that guy, he just saves our show. That just wakes the fucking fans right up. That gives us Twitter armor. So you can use men to boost your show's weak-ass ratings and to make people think that they're watching something enjoyable. But a man saving me? Y'all been dependent on fucking men this whole time. Sweetie. Stop it. Stop that. Anyway, okay, then Kevin says Bruce is supposed to return to explain what he was doing in space. Jen says no, but we're going to introduce... Jen says no, but Kevin says, we're going to introduce... save it for the movie, she says. Which is funny because something happens later on in the show that needed to be explained. We'll get to that in a second. It asks about oh my god. It asks about Abomination, and she says, after all that, I just want him to hold himself accountable. I thought he was this whole time. Because y'all didn't, like I said, you didn't have the balls to make him a fucking villain again. So hold himself accountable for what? Being in, inexplicably being in abomination form? Okay. I guess that's something he needs to be held accountable for. She has it changed from night to day, and it asks, "Are we done here?" Or "Are we done here?" And then Jen asks, "Oh, I would not mind seeing Daredevil again. A woman has needs." Imagine if a male character said that about some disposable female character. Can you bring that hot bitch back? A man has needs. Oh, I need to get my wick lipped. Oh my god, I said that wrong. I meant to say I need to get my wick dipped. It might have been wick licked. That's what it was. I got it. Oh my god, this is a tongue twister. Jesus. I need to get my wick licked. Imagine if like Superman had his own little fourth wall moment and he just brought Lois Lane into the story just to fuck and dispose of. Wouldn't be a good thing, would it? Yeah, but she gets to sexualize men, dehumanize men. She gets to be the biggest piece of shit towards one whole gender. But of course Dennis's character is made to look made out to look like fucking Hitler. Even though she does basically is the exact same character, if you think about it. If I sat down and thought about it, I think I would actually come to the conclusion that her and Dennis are the exact same character. But, you know, whatever. Let's get off that. It admits that they've been light on his story. Jen sits down and says, "Oh, and while I've got you here," Kevin is like, "Oh, and you're sitting?" Yeah, I might as well skip that. It says, and she says, "What's with all the daddy issues?" As she goes on about every character with daddy issues. and then she says, "Oh, and when are we getting X-Men?" And she like winks to the camera like, "No, we're not looking forward to that. X-Men has already been fucked with enough. We're not looking forward to you motherfuckers ruining it. Come on." Like, I know the simps and all the consumers looking forward to it. I'm not, and a lot of other rational MCU fans are not looking forward to that. Or former MCU fans. I don't know what status anyone would be at this point. I cannot tell you that, Kevin says. And Jen says, "Okay, back to She-Hulk. I do have some ideas for the direction of season 2. Ugh, y'all ain't getting a season 2. These ratings were abysmal. These ratings were not good. Like, the public, and I think like the Rotten Tomatoes rating actually got lower since the episode came out. Like hours later, it went, hours later, it went down 2%. That's not good. That's not good at all. It means now that it's officially out, it's probably going to get a lot lower than that. In fact, let me check. Let's check, shall we? Oh, let's see. Let's see how low that user rating got. Oh, it's still at 35. It's still going to be going down though. But I love how they completely. Oh wait, let me show this. They completely got rid of you know how there's usually like numbers at the bottom, like smaller numbers at the bottom of the ratings. It says like a couple this many users like rated on this and this many users rated on this. They're not here. They're not here. In fact, let me zoom in. Yeah, they're not here. Yeah, those little links that like the ones that link you to the actual reviews and to how many reviews are there and how many reviews there are. They're not there. Even when you click score details, it's not there. The percentage of users who rated this 3.5 stars or higher. Okay, but where's the numbers at? Okay, it goes to like the audience ratings. Let's zoom out a little bit. We're not really gonna read this, not really, but I'm just, I just want to see something. So yeah, you can see the audience reviews. You can see them, but they don't give you the number of how many there are. Because like, I think they caught on to people like measuring and measuring it up against the percentages. Because that's what I used to do. Like, oh yeah, because I used to say, like, okay, who cares if She-Hulk has an 81%, like 87% critical review. Only like 50, no, not even 50, like 20 people, critics fucking reviewed it. And then you go to the user reviews and it's like thousands and thousands of people. I don't know the exact numbers because, like I said, they disappeared. But like hypothetically, that's how it usually is. Like it would have like 23 critics with an 87%, like with a fresh rating, up against like a very low user percentage and with thousands of people rating it. So if you go by that metric, it's like, it's nothing. That 87% means absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things. Because the numbers are not leveled. Like if it was the same amount, like near the same amount of numbers, but yet there's one bad rating and one good rating, you might have something. But that's usually never like the case. Anyway, let's get back to this. But yeah, like I said before, yeah, there's not gonna be a season 2. Like after people have really soaked up episode 9, that rating is gonna go down. Anyway, it says she will not have access to it again as they fix the error on the platform. And she asks, that's it? And then Kevin says, you obliterated the thrilling ending Kevin created, it says. She comments, that's what Hulks do. We smash things. Buildings, endings, and sometimes Matt Murdock. Woo, woo! Girl. Oh, God, the fact that she banged him is just fucking repulsive to me. As she looks at us, yeah, she says that as she looks at the audience, by the way. Ugh, cringe. Mega cringe. Kevin tells her to get Kevin tells her to get back to the show now. It throws in, see you on the big screen. And then Jen says, really? And then Kevin says, no. Now that's fun. Now that is funny because it's true. And then Jen asks what's the most budget friendly way to transform back is. Another jab at the VFX people. That's nice. That's brilliant. And we cut back to Emil's property. Now daytime, everyone is outside and police are already there. She-Hulk comes out from around the corner to confront Todd, who is being arrested. Titania films the encounter for social media saying, oh my God, guys, we are about to witness a murder. Todd cowers and tells She-Hulk just do it, just kill him. And honestly, I'm not surprised that he thinks that she would kill him, considering all the events, especially episode 8. She transforms back to Jen and asks, "I'll see you in court, babe," or not asks, but says. Yeah, see, the person who wrote these notes down got that wrong. But yeah, she says, "I'll see you in court, babe." I don't know what the babe thing was about. The cops take him away. Suddenly, Daredevil drops in out of thin air, because that's not incomprehensible and messy for Daredevil to just pop up in his suit in the daytime out of nowhere. Jen, I'm here to help, he says. She tells him he missed everything, and he's like, oh man. And the way Charlie Cox says, oh man, is so embarrassing. It's like he's so, like, he didn't even try. Oh my god! This frame of him is so funny. He's just like, why am I here? Why are we here? Just to suffer? This is so funny. Hold on, I gotta cap that. Anyway. Yeah, look at him. Just so disillusioned in his stupid yellow outfit. Hold on, gotta unmute it.
All right, as your legal counsel.
Okay, I missed it. I gotta go back.
Everything? Oh, man.
It was.
Oh, man. He said it's so weak. Let's go back. Yeah, he just comes up straight down out of nowhere. Like, whoop. Like, where the fuck did you come from, nigga? And your knees should be obliterated. Matt Murdock is a human being. He's a person. He's not superhuman. God damn it. Anyway, but listen to the way he says, oh, man. It's so pathetic. No.
Jen, I'm here to help.
Hey, Daredevil. You missed it. We're done. Sorry.
Everything? Oh, man.
Oh, man. That's when he was checked out. He realized what a shitty show he was in the last episode, and now he's just like, yeah, oh, man. That's so sad. Oh, God. That's, like, they're only funny unintentionally. It's really quite something. Anyway, they flirt. Ugh, yeah, Jen and Daredevil flirt again. And she says she's happy to see him. And she even does, like, you know, the lip bites, cutesy thing. I'm glad to see you. Yeah. She tells him to wait a second as she walks off. Titania tries to flirt with him. I think that's when he had that fucking dead face. She tries to flirt with him. I guess it's the joke that she doesn't realize he's blind. Oh God, because people said they were going to be blind jokes. Like unnecessary blind jokes. Hang on, let's see that.
It was great, though. And I'm happy to see you.
Oh, thanks.
Hold on. Gotta think about copyright.
Oh my God, did they hook up with their thing?
Yes, take it down a notch, Pug. I'm gonna go. One sec.
Copyright.
Sure.
Hi, Daredevil.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So she did talk to him. Whatever. I was hoping like for I thought it was like a blind joke, but it wasn't. I thought she tried to get his attention, but didn't realize he was blind. Which actually, I'm gonna be honest, that would have been kind of funny, just showing how out of touch Titania is with reality. Which, speaking of which, there still hasn't been any clarification as to why she tried to kill that courtroom full of people in the first episode. Just saying, like, she kind of shows up, leaves, leaves. Like, they do nothing with her. There's nothing with this character. Anyway. Jen goes to... Shit, someone's gonna have to open the front door because I'm not doing it. Jen goes to Emil to explain to him... Okay, someone's opening the door. Just ignore that. Jen goes to Emil to explain to him that if he signs the document, he'll go back to prison for 10 years for violating parole. He says yes, and it's the punishment for his actions. Next, we see Jen driving home. Then Jen and her family gather together outside for dinner, with Matt there too. They're all laughing and having a good time. Oh God, of course. The whole meet cute. He's meeting her family, which is way too soon for someone you just fucked. and did not get to know whatsoever. He's your fuck buddy. He's not your boyfriend. The fuck is he doing meeting your family? Anyway. They're all laughing and having they're all laughing and having a good time, which Jen's parents ask about Matt. Oh my god, this is not written that well. Jen's parents ask Matt about his practice. Matt talks about Hell's Kitchen and pro bono work. The ladies gush over him. Jen comes to his rescue as her dad says it's very expensive to raise kids in LA because, of course, he's a daddy and he wants to be a granddaddy. It would be endearing, but this is not that show. This ain't a show for that. We don't do that here. Men expressing emotions and being like heartfelt and genuine. No, I don't know why you thought you could do that. And Jen says, Dad, he's staying here for a week. The banter with her parents is cute. It isn't. And as Jen sits next to him to rescue him from her aunt, blah, blah, blah. Bruce walks into the, this is where it gets exceptional. Oh, this is where, yeah, because remember what I said about, like, Jen, like, just deleting plot lines, and that there was one that she might have not wanted to delete because it sounded very important? Well, we're going to get to that. Bruce walks into the party from around the corner in a Hawaiian shirt. I don't know why you had to specify that. Saying hi to everyone. He stops everyone, explaining he's been away on Skaar for a while, so he'll tell everyone about it. But first, he's got someone to introduce. This is my son, Skaar, spelled Skaar. Skaar is revealed to be standing behind Bruce. He's fully CGI, a fully CGI Hulk as well. Duh. You think they're going to do practical effects suddenly now? Like, no. The family excitedly welcomes Skaar as Daredevil says to Jen, wow, your family. You're like, your family what, motherfucker? You got a problem with green niggas? You got a problem with green people, motherfucker? What, you racist? Wow, your family is filled with jolly green motherfuckers. Ew, green people. I mean, it's not even like he's blind. Like, what the fuck? What does he think he's seeing? Anyway, I want you to look at the sun because that is some bad CGI. He looks bad. He looks really bad. I'm trying to get like a good... Yeah, look at this fucker. Look at... He looks like, I bet you, in the future, we're going to get someone voicing him, and it's probably going to be Timothée Chalamet. How much would I bet money? Because he kind of looks like him. He looks like a roided out Timothée Chalamet, like tribal Timothée Chalamet. And look at his hair. What the fuck is up with his hair? What? Oh God, I got people talking in the background. But like, he doesn't. It's bad. It looks like shit. And it's like, how do you explain this? Like, when was Bruce fucking? Where did this kid come from? You might have wanted to let Bruce have his own thing in this show. You know what I mean? Just to explain this. Oh, but like, oh yeah, just wait for we're just gonna set up things at random just so we can have them for movies later, which is, like I said, lazy. Very lazy. Also, I love how they're subverting expectations, but they still do this cheap Marvel teasing bullshit. Yeah, but you're so different. Oh, you guys know exactly what you're doing. Anyway, let's keep reading. Lastly, a reporter stops She-Hulk on camera while entering court, asking about her lawsuit against Todd and Intelligentsia. She talks about holding people like him responsible for their actions. And you too, right? Technically, you shouldn't have a job right now. The message is, if you attack, harm, or harass innocent people, I'm coming for you. Yeah, whatever. You can't handle internet trolls without going into like a refest. Like, why would anyone have faith in you as a superhero? Why should anyone give a shit? Give me one fucking example of you being competent enough, like competent enough to back that up, to back up that statement. And then the reporter asks, do you mean in a courtroom or as a superhero? And she says, both. Both? You haven't done both. You haven't done both. You're a shitty lawyer and you're not really good at being She-Hulk either. So, and you didn't learn a fucking thing until like the second to last episode. And even then you still didn't fucking take that advice. So where was your aha moment as a superhero? Because it seemed like to me like to completely absolve yourself of any responsibility or learning, y'all just went completely fourth wall and just disregarded every fucking plot line and everything that happened in the previous 8 episodes. Just so you wouldn't have to write a female superhero taking accountability for her actions and actually learning anything. That's just what I saw, though. But I'm an evil white male who's a man baby, so. He asks her who she's wearing to court today. She's in a purple skirt suit, whatever. That's what this person wrote. And she rolls her eyes. She walks into the courtroom and he says to the camera, the difficult diva of law herself. Roll credits. And what kills me is she had the nerve to roll her eyes at being asked who she's wearing. Like, it's usually what people ask to ask female celebrities on the red carpet. There was a whole fucking episode to you getting outfits made. You have no fucking right to just roll your eyes at that. That makes no sense. And then she was so worried about pissing off, I forgot what the dude's name was, like a flamboyant gay black dude. She was so worried about pissing him off because she wanted her wear her pretty clothes. Like I said, She-Hulk is a cheap, tasteless rom-com focused on girly things instead of actually being a fucking superhero show. And then it has the nerve to poo-poo at girly things. What? Doesn't make any sense. Mid-credit sequence. Emil is in the DODC prison. I didn't know he was called that. I don't really give a fuck. He's in prison. And we see a sling ring portal open up. Wong springs Emil out of prison, making good on his promise to give him sanctuary. Wasn't he not supposed to do that? I don't remember that shit. I don't remember. Who cares? Emil says he took his time. And Emil says it took you long enough. And Wong says he got sucked into another TV show. Well, that's kind of funny. What's the guest policy for commentage? What about Wi-Fi? As Emil enters the portal, return to credits, and yeah, that's the so that's episode 9. The worst fucking finale I've ever seen. The most because it's just there as an excuse for the writers to not write anything good. Basically. They didn't want to put the work in. So they were just like, let's just go fourth wall and we'll just use the fourth wall shit as an excuse to just excuse us not wanting to do anything. Like, fuck it. They didn't know how to tie any plot points together because every episode from episode 1 to then has just been nothing but filler. They're nothing but filler episodes. Imagine an entire season of filler episodes. That's what She-Hulk is. It's nothing but fucking filler. Nothing substantial happens with her character. She doesn't learn anything. She doesn't really do anything. What What else can be said? It's a terrible fucking show. Terrible episode. Fuck She-Hulk. Of course they're gonna make it. They're not gonna take. They don't take YouTubers like me into consideration in terms of criticism. They come like they love diversity, but just not diversity of thought. They like it when only white males have opinions about their show, because then they can use it. Because then they can use it to bolster their fucking arguments, and to strengthen their plot lines. Me as a humble woman of color, I couldn't strengthen a plot line to save my life. My opinion is worth absolutely nothing. So yeah, they're of course they're not gonna listen to me. But anyway, yeah, that's it. My face hurts from the stress. It was just awful. I hated this shit like every fucking moment of this. Oof. Ooh, I'm Audi 5000. This is going up fully unedited. I might give the footage to my editor to edit down for the episode 9 reaction. Like as the episode 9 reaction, I'm not entirely sure yet. I might just have it up as is. Just say fuck it. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye. Thank you for suffering with